breaking news today.
Please subscribe and check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Ever since President Trump announced he'd be moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, Muslims across the world have been promising to violently retaliate with American blood. Early Monday morning, Muslims made good on their violent threats after an Islam-practicing psychopath set off a bomb in New York City, detonating a homemade pipe that was attached to his body with velcro and zip ties. With 27-year-old would-be suicide bomber Akayed Ullah now in custody, Obama has just been caught in the crosshairs of the latest terror attack on Americans, after it's now being revealed a disturbing declaration his Muslim brothers made on America just days before the attack took place. Back in 2012, Obama's unfathomable acts of treason was reported by the NYC Times, where it was revealed that Obama had given $1.3 billion to this radical group, an organization that was so extreme, that they were banned in Egypt until recently. But Obama took things a step even further when he formally recognized the Muslim Brotherhood as a legitimate group, and invited them to the White House to hang out, despite the Muslim Brotherhood being implicated for funding several known terror attacks against Israel. While Obama and his minions would love for everyone to believe that this organization is a peaceful Muslim group, the masks finally came off following President Trump's announcement that the U.S. Embassy would be moved to Jerusalem. Last week, Obama's buddies outright declared war on America, proclaiming that the United States was now an enemy of the Arab world. The Muslim Brotherhood has effectively declared war on the United States. Arabic link: the Muslim Brotherhood is launching today a solidarity call with all Palestinian factions and Islamic movements to ignite an uprising throughout the Islamic world against the Zionist occupation and the American administration in support of the occupation and against the rights and freedoms of the peoples. Now it appears that Muslims in America are taking their marching orders quite literally, as the attack in New York City Monday morning is only the beginning of things to come. Over the weekend, Muslims in New York City held a rally and called for the slaughter of non-Muslims, vowing the army of Muhammad would be returning. For the past 8 years, Barack Hussein Obama made it no mystery whose side he was on, as he did everything in his power to further the cause of Islam by hollowing out our military while at the same time planting Muslim terrorists throughout his administration, to include his right-hand advisor, Valerie Jarrett. What's important to note is before the rise of ISIS and Al-Qaeda, terrorists like al-Baghdadi and Osama bin Laden both belonged to a common ideological precursor, the Muslim Brotherhood. The trajectories of these three extremist leaders highlight the significant ideological overlap between today's most notorious violent Islamist groups, ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and the worldwide Muslim Brotherhood movement, counterextremism.com reported. The Muslim Brotherhood have a strategic 30-year plan for taking over America, and what's disturbing is these terrorists are now in the final phase for complete domination of the West. The Muslim Brotherhood's plans were recently discovered following the raid on a Virginia Muslim's home, revealing a civilization jihadist process that's been secretly going on for years behind our backs. Here's their 5-phase plan, and disturbingly, they are now in the final phase of their mission. Phase 1, phase of discreet and secret establishment of leadership. Phase 2, phase of gradual appearance on the public scene and exercising and utilizing various public activities. It greatly succeeded in implementing this stage. It also succeeded in achieving a great deal of its important goals, such as infiltrating various sectors of the government, gaining religious institutions and embracing senior scholars, gaining public support and sympathy, establishing a shadow government, a secret, within the government. Phase 3, escalation phase, prior to conflict and confrontation with the rulers, through utilizing mass media. Currently in progress. Phase 4, open public confrontation with the government through exercising the political pressure approach. It is aggressively implementing the above-mentioned approach. Training on the use of weapons domestically and overseas in anticipation of 0 hour. It has noticeable activities in this regard. Phase 5, seizing power to establish their Islamic nation under which all parties and Islamic groups are united. While that is their general overall plan, the document that was seized in the raid reveals a chilling insight into their operations, mindset, planning, and vision of the Islamic movement rapidly taking over North America. Via ShariaThreat.org. Expanding the Muslim presence by birth rate, immigration, and refusal to assimilate. Occupying and expanding domination of physical spaces. Ensuring the Muslim community knows and follows MB doctrine. Controlling the language we use in describing the enemy. Ensuring we do not study their doctrine, Sharia. Co-opting key leadership. Forcing compliance with Sharia at local levels. Fighting all counterterrorism efforts. Subverting religious organizations. Employing lawfare, the offensive use of lawsuits and threats of lawsuits. Claiming victimization, demanding accommodations. Condemning slander against Islam. Subverting the U.S. education system, in particular, infiltrating and dominating U.S. Middle East studies programs. Demanding the right to practice Sharia in segregated Muslim enclaves. Demanding recognition of Sharia in non-Muslim spheres. Confronting and denouncing Western society, laws, and traditions, and demanding that Sharia replace Western law. Note that many of the foregoing techniques entail, in one way or another, influencing and neutralizing the American government at all levels. It's truly unfathomable that we had a domestic terrorist in the form of Barack Hussein Obama who was able to infiltrate the highest level of our government for the sole purpose of furthering the cause of Muslim terrorists. It's time to wake the hell up, as the masks are now off, and the Muslim terrorists that Obama funded are now actively carrying out terror attacks in our streets, while boldly declaring war on the United States of America.